For the second season in a row, the third race on the IORA Cup Series schedule is the track in Avondale, Arizona, 1 mile in length. This is the Phoenix Raceway. Season 5 of the IORA Cup Series continues this Thursday night, and it's going to be Avondale, Arizona, as we mentioned, the host of the DiamondBack 125. Phoenix sets to come alive, 125 laps, 125 miles, and qualifying is on the move with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on the timing sheets, with drivers still taking times as it stands. Henry Kaloff at the top of the board by 59 one-thousandths of a second over Nathan Palawada, and drivers are still setting laps as we speak. Welcome you all back again on FTN. It's a doubleheader tonight. First going to be Phoenix Raceway here with the IORA Cup Series, and then from there it's going to be the Highline Racing League at Richmond, and I'll be your host throughout all of tonight's action. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing, and we hope to have you here for the first feature race of the day. Phoenix, the 1 mile track in the middle of the short tracks and the intermediates in length, and a track unlike any other. Unique shape and characteristics, and still some drivers are getting used to it. Quite a few rookies in the field. Kyle Turksack going to go to the top of the board in his 051. The triple-digit threat was the fastest driver in practice. Looks to be the fastest driver again here in qualifying, as Daniel Mosteller gets on the way in the number 87. Demos, one of the few drivers now who is not taking the time. Kyle Turksack and Chase Schaefer, first and second on the board. Mosteller now going to put a time in at the line. He'll go down to the apron and take it through the dog leg. That's now Mosteller up to fourth. He's got one more lap to go in this qualifying session. See what else he has in store here as he comes down and around. Gonna head to 3 and 4, the final two turns on the track, and put his last qualifying effort in. Only 2 laps for each driver, and this is gonna be the last one Daniel Mosteller has as he comes up out of the final turn. Demos from 4th on the board is gonna move just 1 spot up into 3rd. He's 48 thousandths off the pole, and his car is gonna get destroyed immediately thereafter. Antonio Mancini, Devins Baker, and Beaver Serrano, the only drivers still left to go. As it stands, it's going to be the 7 going into the wall and coming right back up, and he's going to be destroyed once again. One more driver still taking a lap, Devins Baker, as he comes out of turn 2 this time by. He'll get himself going, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to set any faster time. Serrano now going to come down the front straightaway as well, and making it to 3 and 4 in the Fastenal number 66. Coming around through turn 4, Beaver Serrano with the final time. He's going to jump up from 16th on the charts. It looks like no improvement from there. Still going to be 16th. Got a little bit closer to Xander McKinney, but not enough to gain a spot. Qualifying, with that being said, has concluded. Beaver's going to take the final time, and as such, time to find out who starts where in the virtual Phoenix Raceway. Qualifying for the Avondale DiamondBack 125. It's now concluded. Kyle Turksack going to be at the top of the board, and he's going to be quicker by 37 thousandths of a second over Chase Schaefer, making up your row 1, the rookie in the 051 and the number 99, then in that second spot. Third on the order is then going to be Daniel Mosteller in the 87, and Henry Kaloff is going to be in position number 4, with 5th place occupied then by Nathan Palawada and Vincent Guecci. He's there in 6th. 7th spot is going to be then River Page, and Brandon Dugan is going to be in 8th, and 9th spot is Corey Lyles with Braxton Whitaker rounding out the top 10 of the 51. Aaron Schugel is going to be 11th, and Julian Altena is going to be in 12th. 13th is Devins Baker, and Alexander Balderas, your winner from last week, is going to be 14th to start the night. 15th is Xander McKinney, and Beaver Serrano will then be in 16th, with 17th place held by Will Shack and Antonio Mancini, then in 18th. The final 2 drivers on the board for tonight's race, it's going to be James Thurston and Tobias Matheson, with our latest entry coming in at 21st, Tyler Tinsley in the number 75. 21 drivers and 11 rows make up the starting grid in Phoenix, and at the top of the charts you'll see Kyle Turksack with Chase Schaefer lining up on top of the board. Now, with qualifying concluded, it's going to be the iRacing official pace car set to grab a gear quite soon, waiting only on Matheson, Tinsley, and Nathan Palawada right now. It looks like those are the only 3 drivers not yet on the track. get there, we'll be set to get moving for the first time in this race. The iRacing official pace car going to lead him off, and then from there going to be a total of 125 laps, and conditions very fair for tonight's race. Taking a look, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, clear skies with no humidity, and winds northeast bound at 5 miles an hour, so going to be just about the ideal conditions for racing as drivers get off of pit road this time by and prepare for their one and only pace lap before the green flies. Pace car going to be up at the top of the track here, and it's going to be a long entry down a pit road for the iRacing pace car. As you see, pit road's entry is about half the track away from the start-finish line. So as the pace car goes in, and it already is going to take that dive through, there's going to be an extra straightaway for Schaefer and Turksack to wait to get going. And now that the drivers are organized again, only Tobias Matheson set to miss the start of this one, and the rest of the field is in orderly fashion, led tonight by a rookie at the top of the chart. It's going to be Kyle Turksack in the 051 down to the bottom side, and as drivers go through turns 3 and 4 for the first time tonight, it's time to wave the green flag and get going in Phoenix. Green flags out in the DiamondBack 125. We're underway from Arizona. Huge wreck, yellow flags out. It's going to be a parking lot. Just about half the field collected, if not more. And it's only going to be Turksack, Page, and a few others that get out of it with no trouble. All but 5 drivers involved, and the yellow flags out for the first time tonight. It's a huge wreck, and it's chaos at the absolute max. Yellow flags out. I just about think everyone got in it, save for your top 5. Here's a look one time again. Nathan Palawada was wiggling. Then you're going to see Vincent Guecci there. It starts with Chase Schaefer getting involved with Henry Kaloff, then going to collect 91 Ashugel. You see there Schaefer with Alexander Balderas, and it might have started here with Schaefer. So we're going to take a look back one more time and figure out a little more here. Trouble so early into this race, and coming right out of turn 2, you see it all come around. Schaefer's going to get involved with Whitaker, Palawada, and you see Thurston going to get a little bit of a piece there. Balderas as well. Caution is out, and it is a big one early, and a lot of the field going to catch a piece. Luckily, everyone's got a faster pair. Most of your field is going to need one here, so we're going to watch who uses a faster pair when. Already multiple drivers in pit road as the caution flies for the first time tonight, and many faster pairs early. It's going to be now Corey Lyles up to second. It'll be third Vincent Guecci, but your leader remains the same. Kyle Turksack at the top of the board. He got away from the issue. And very few other drivers are going to stay on the track, only 6 of which are used to stay off of pit road, and the rest of the field going to go in for either a faster pair or some mandatory damage repair. Either way, now a lot of the field going to be running on eggshells tonight. You don't want to see a repeat of such an early incident with that large of a scale, shall we say. Taking out a good majority of the pack, Nathan Palawada and Tyler Tinsley already going to be 2 laps down respectively. Braxton Whitaker set to go 1 down, and same will go for River Page. Daniel Mosteller, he's got a similar situation. That's the 87. He's going to just barely miss going 1 down. Kyle Turksack going to lead the way at the end of lap 3. Turksack to the bottom. Up top, Corey Lyles. Fluffy Ninja 311, thank you for stopping by. Great to have you here watching the stream and supporting the number 14 of Devins Baker. Baker right now going to be running in 12th, and it looks like he's going to be back on the track here. So Devins just outside the top 10. He's looking to get back with the field. And all but 6 drivers have gone down to pit road. Let's count out the faster pair uses. 1, 3. Then there's going to be a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, 7th, and 8th. So 8 drivers have used a faster pair already tonight, and 20 drivers took the green flag. Nearly half of your field is going to now be running on their final car. No extra faster pairs, so whatever damage they get from here, they'll live with it until the race ends. Kyle Turksack, though, avoiding that first wreck is a huge deal, and now it's going to be all about the rest of the race come to him. The number 15 going to be leading the way with Corey Lyles right up top. 1 lap to green. Everyone's still organizing themselves after that pit stop. Brandon Dugan going to be coming back down on pit road. You'll see the lights glaring as Number 55 makes it down and in. Dugan still has damage to take care of. Nathan Palawana, Braxton Whitaker, and Tyler Tinsley are all 2 laps down. And come across the dog leg once again. We'll be going green at lap number 6. Now the question becomes, how are these drivers going to approach the remainder of the race with such a huge wreck out of the way? Just about 15 drivers involved in that one, and now the rest of the field knows that we can see quite a lot of chaos in the early going as much as we can in the rest of the race. So will we see a more calm driving style come into play as the field gets bunched up again? Dugan's going to catch up. Looks like River Page there too. And we should be bundled up again to go for our first restart of the night. We'll be coming back green at lap number 6. Turksack getting the man that leads us through, and Corey Lyles right there on his high side. Green flags out again. Kyle gets the jump, and we are underway with our first restart in Phoenix. Coming through, it's the first green flag lap we've gotten done. Turksack getting the race leader. Vincent Guecci now going to be second, and Corey Lyles going to run to his inside here. Already a battle brewing between these two drivers, and it's going to be Guecci looking to back up that success he had earlier, of course, in the season last week in Fontana. As it stands, it's going to be the high side for Guecci, way low for Corey Lyles, and then you see Aaron Schugel once again in the mix. Henry Kaloff going to be in 5th, and Beaver Serrano fighting side by side now with the 63, whereas Julian Altena is trying to get in the top 5 himself. And Julian now, the part-time driver running for VOR, is going to be in the 7th spot. Working down to the inside, Henry Kaloff going to get that lunge into 3 and 4. Looks like advantage Kaloff, and clearly here, coming out of the Geico restart zone and into the start-finish line, Henry Kaloff rounds out the top 5. Close battle further back here. Will Shack going to be up top, and you see right beside him, it looks like Devin Baker all the way to the bottom. Baker going to go low and take a spot away quickly. Now going to be trying to make a pass on Antonio Mancini. Antonio Mancini right now running in the 13th spot. We saw him as part of a few incidents last week, and Mancini right now trying to keep that car under control. Goes up high, has some damage, so we'll see how much more he can push it here, but already a risk. Wants to keep going at 110%. All the way down to the bottom side. Baker going to look to take that spot. He is clear and will make it by Mancini quickly. 10 laps in out of 125 there. Quick pass for Baker, and as such, a similar battle ahead. Now going to be Beaver Serrano to the bottom side, while Julian Alton is trying to make a pass on Beaver up top. All the way up to the highest groove. Julian very close to hitting the wall, but no major trouble there, and the field is going to stay the same as it stands. The Alton machine gets up in a 6th. Thurston now going to be bottom side, looking for 7th. Beaver, 2 spots in 2 laps by the way things are looking, gets in the wall, and now Chase Schaefer has an opportunity to go and make a pass for his own. Chase goes down to the bottom side and will look for the 8th spot. Chase Schaefer was the driver who got it done last season in Phoenix and had quite a lot of success at a track like Phoenix, of course, in previous seasons here in IORA, and now trying to build that all back again. Of course, being involved in that first caution not going to help his chances, but there's an opportunity now to gain those positions back and let the rest of the race come to him here, knowing 125 laps, more than 100 still remain from this point onward. You don't want to rush your strategy, and the race can keep on going, of course. You just keep gaining position. Schaefer at the line, going to run a 27.527, and of the drivers ahead of him, he was only slower than 1 in Aaron Schugel, so Schaefer's clearly got some pace to be at the front of the field. Aaron Schugel going to hit the wall that time by, and that's going to help out Henry Kaloff, but not enough to get side by side or make a pass. So Kaloff's going to have to wait just a bit. Aaron Schugel, though, going to make a bit of a mistake. He'll have to keep on going despite the early trouble. Turksack, your race leader. Lyle's going to be second. Then from there, Vincent Guecci in 3rd, as Aaron Schugel now fighting neck and neck with Henry Kaloff. Kaloff dives to the inside for the first time, and just can't make it through. Aaron Schugel right now going to be running in the fourth spot. With all that pressure, you got to wonder, will there be a mistake made sometime soon, or is there going to be a chance to hold on? It's going to be, of course, that number 91 in fourth right now, coming off of a podium finish last week, and there's a big opportunity to go back-to-back if you can hold on and maybe get by Vincent Guecci, who had such success at Auto Club as well. One driver down and in, that's Kyle Turksack from the lead, and your leader has trouble, wiggles out of the podium, and the number 15 going to fade back fast. All of a sudden, Kyle Turksack looked to be dominant early, drops back big, and that's going to promote Corey Lyles, the race leader, immediately. A wiggle out of turn 2, and he drops down fast, just not able to keep things together, and Corey Lyles now going to be running in the lead. Kyle Turksack down to 5th, and as the sun continues to set, things are changing, and James Thurston might now have a chance here getting by the number 051, right on board with Thurston, and you'll see just how close he's going to make this a battle as they come into the dog leg. And now entering turns 1 and 2. Down to the inside, Thurston's going to send it, and he lunges it deep all the way on the bottom groove. It's going to be good enough to clear, and Turksack going to lose another spot as a result. And in the early first 15 laps, dominant from Turksack, but now it looks like he's going to be dropping further and further back. No way to recover for now, and it's going to be Kyle Turksack running 7th. Chase Schaefer gets up to 6th. Daniel Mosteller and Julian Alton are going to be the next 2 drivers looking to take a spot away. Just hasn't worked so far. Going down to the inside line, Kyle Turksack there with Chase Schaefer. It's going to be nearly door-to-door, but Turksack going to fall off again. Just can't get the charge through the corner, and as such, Kyle continues to drop back more and more position. And Vincent Guecci now leads the way. It's going to be Corey Lyles in 2nd and Aaron Schugel 3rd, as Schugel drops all the way down to the bottom groove. He's going to take it to the underside of the dog leg and go at it again. Now Aaron Schugel going to face that trouble with Corey Lyles coming in. Lyles almost had a run there, but you saw him wiggle down the back straightaway, almost to the same effect of Kyle Turksack, but he'll keep it together and won't find as much trouble. So as a result here, James Thurston now going to try to creep into the frame. Lyles sees that pressure and has to go all the way up high. Same goes for Aaron Schugel here, and we'll see whether or not those 2 drivers can pull each other out, or if Thurston's got enough momentum now to fight for the podium. For James Thurston, last week, I'm sure he absolutely wanted to make things happen and get the checkered flag for his own. He had the pace to go toe-to-toe with Alexander Balderas, but when it was all said and done, it just didn't work out as he made a pit stop error, and that was his race. 20 laps in right now, though. He is up to 3rd and continuing to make spots up here. The number 96 running in 3rd. He's going to have Corey Lyles up top with Chase Schaefer. And as Schaefer distracts Lyles, it's going to help Thurston out even more so in making his hot pursuit of Schugel and your race leader, Vincent Guecci. As it stands, you're going to see there, Guecci is going to be with Aaron Schugel down the bottom side. You can see that number 91 locking into the dog leg again, and he's one of the drivers who is slowly but surely making things happen, using that bottom groove. Not a lot of drivers opting to do so early in this race. So as we're going to see the battle for the race lead continue to develop, watch the difference between Vincent Guecci and Aaron Schugel. Going into turns 3 and 4, nothing much is going to come of it, but this is when Schugel generally makes his move. Going out of the start-finish line, looks like now he's going to stay right with the racing line. Chase Schaefer, though, is going to run that dog leg just a bit as he tries to make up just a bit more distance on Corey Lyles, but Lyles will not make it easy, staying bumper to bumper here. The number 99 tries to get away, but no good run for now, and James Thurston now slots under on Aaron Schugel. It's another spot made up for Thurston, and going to get right by Schugel in a moment's notice. Take a look this time by as we watch James Thurston. He makes the call, and he will drop very deep in. He'll go back up again, and you could see gains slightly, but it's all about that turn 1 and 2. You got to make sure it's a nice entry, and that's really going to solidify any gains you made. The turns matter, but the dog leg can be used to sort of assist you getting the distance. Then you got to keep the distance when you go through the corners. That's the game plan for a guy like Thurston. Right now, he is the biggest mover of all those inside the top 5. He has been gaining and gaining and gaining again. I don't think he has any signs of stopping in him so far. Looks like he's very confident in his equipment. wants to keep moving here up to the high side again of that number 96. Chase Schaefer is going to be third, Aaron Schugel fourth, and the battle for the podium heating up as you can see Aaron Schugel on the back bumper of Chase Schaefer right on board here and see exactly what Schugel aims to do. Going to work his way now through turns 3 and 4. Chase Schaefer pulling away, and really nothing that he can do as Schaefer's going to come across the line and get so much closer to Thurston, and both of which are going to drop down through the dog leg, making up more time on Guecci. Thurston going to take it down to the apron to try and put the slide job on him. Guecci's going to make it side by side, and even though Thurston tries to block deep, won't work out, and even Chase Schaefer's now got to run. Schaefer down to the inside groove here and trying to make the pass immediately on Thurston. James will go up top. Chase is going to take the bottom side and compromise Thurston's line. They will be side by side coming into the dog leg again, but nobody's going to choose to go down. Vincent Guecci going to get a sigh of relief, at least temporarily here, as Schaefer and Thurston are driving each other deeper and deeper into the corners. Contact there twice over. Vincent Guecci going to make it a little bit of beating and banging with Chase Schaefer, but he gets away firmly once more, and it's Guecci now leading clear by about a car length. Schaefer still going to be second, but almost lost it there, putting himself in jeopardy, and luckily for his sake, he keeps it together. But look at James Thurston going all the way down to the apron here. You don't even see him, and then he makes it right back up on track. I'm not quite sure whether or not we've seen anyone do that before, but Thurston, he is trying. I don't know if he's succeeding, but he's definitely trying, and the 96 is going to go at it once again, perhaps. Now, Thurston's sending it very deep into these corners, and it's just about anything we've seen before, and rather unlike anything we've seen. Most drivers going to run it typically. I think Thurston now going to get to grips with it again, but he is trying something we've never seen, going so deep into the apron through a corner and washing back up. Now, he's going to be third. Vincent Guecci is second spot, and Chase Schaefer, who got it done here last season, is your leader again, and it looks like that confidence at Phoenix, it is maintained. And he will not fail at getting the top spot once again. 31 laps in out of 125. Didn't even need to wait more than a quarter of this race. And Chase Schaefer's race lead. Further on back, they're still battling as well. And you'll see here, it's River Page and Corey Lyles. I think Lyles at this rate, though, struggling more and more. Fading more into the backside of the field. River Page gonna slowly but surely dabble through every corner. You saw him just slightly wiggle into 3 and then wash back up again. He's gonna get by Corey Lyles, and nothing more that Corey can do right now but try to hold on. It looks like he's just beginning to wear his equipment out and not have enough in him to keep on going for spots. Vincent Guecci gonna stay out there 900th of a second, the gap between he and James Thurston. Right now the advantage is with Thurston, but it isn't over quite yet with how close these two are. The distance, it is marginal, and at the line it remains as such. Guecci going to go up top with Thurston once again. Number 96 machine going to keep himself in second for now, but it isn't going to be easy if Guecci can keep putting down that pressure. However, he does have slightly older tires, one of the 6 drivers that was not involved in that first incident, and right now, since the majority of the field is on the strategy of those who went down because of our first caution, that actually might be a disadvantage. He might have actually been better off being wrecked beforehand and then going on with the rest of his way. Here's Chase Schaefer, who is your leader. He already took a fast repair, and now he's up in front after mandatory pit road time, and of course, getting the damage repaired with the extra service. I think for Chase Schaefer, despite how it started, his night has gone well so far in turning a very, very bad thing into quite the positive. Now he leads 35 laps in, and you might see the sun is slowly but surely rising back into the frame here. So as this race goes on, it's going to be a race of changing conditions. Now, as it stands, it looks like it's going to be the sun slowly but surely becoming a bit more visible. We'll see if that remains the case and see whether or not the session is set up for such. As with 35 65 laps on the day. Mosteller is now going to be up to 5th. That's one driver who's also been moving. Demos up inside of the top 5. Now he's looking to get there with Aaron Schugel. You see Schugel there in the number 91. Just outside the podium with a bit of right side damage, but he hasn't given in just yet, and it's going to be just enough for Mosteller now to creep in a frame all over. Watch from the back end of Aaron Schugel here and see how close Demos is making it. Daniel Mosteller there down at the bottom side, coming right up to the exit of turn 4, and he's going to go all the way high, right at the start-finish line. Although Aaron Schugel is going to cut the dog leg once again, hasn't really got him out of harm's way because Demos is right there looking to make a move, and if he lets that bottom side go, I think Schugel is going to be in much more trouble here as they run down the front straightaway and into turns 3 and 4 they go once again. Now with Aaron Schugel working it up to the top of the exit of 4, we'll see whether or not he tries that extreme route into the dog leg. Looks like Demos actually cuts a bit deeper instead. Not much of change it's going to be there as he goes through 1 all over. Now, as it stands, it's going to be 4th and 5th, Aaron Schugel and Daniel Mosteller. The closest battle on the racing circuit is way back in the field here between Xander McKinney and Julian Altena, and these two drivers are going to be fighting for the 13th position. Julian currently has it. Xander McKinney is the man who's looking for it, and as these two drivers are going to go at it here, they're coming slowly but surely up to the 1/3 marker of this race, and the question is going to become, what is it going to take to get to the end of this race on strategy when it comes to the pit cycle? I think for these drivers, they're going to be looking for a one-stop strategy, with most pit stops coming around lap 70, the way they all cycled out with the first caution. I think for a driver like Kyle Turksack or like Vincent Guecci, they're going to have to go into pit road just a bit later here, though. Maybe they've saved enough fuel in that first caution to be on the exact same stride. But if not, I think they're going to be going in a bit earlier. Then the rest of the field is going to come in about lap 65 and make it a middle split. Very similar to the strategy we saw last year if we're going to see any green flag pit stops on the night. Most of the field has calmed down. Every one of the 20 drivers that registered for this race is still going, albeit some are going to be more than a lap down. And Xander McKinney now going to be within 0.2 of a second here of Julian Altena. Lapper Antonio Mancini also going to be right there. We'll see whether or not Mancini's going to play a role. You can see him all the way up top, and it looks like he will not. Gets in the wall once again, though, and you can see the right end is absolutely destroyed. Right side, that is, let alone the back end of the 7. So more and more damage for Antonio Mancini. And still very worrying for him to keep on going here with a lot of damage. Going to be less control as the race goes on, and he's going to be put 1 lap down, of course, already. Maybe going to be set to go 2 down as the race progresses. 99 of Chase Schaefer leading the way, James Thurston 2nd, Vincent Guecci 3rd, and Aaron Schugel there in 4th. But perhaps not for long. Mosteller going to be making it in to the 87, out of the inside of Schugel. Once again backs off, though. We saw how close he was, and there was a gap of less than a 1/10. Now he'll go deep into the dog leg once more, and he's trying to get that run out of the dog leg to go through 1 and 2 again. Bottom side, he'll take it very deep into the apron, and it looks like drivers are actually trying to do that now. I'm not quite sure how successful it's going to be, but that's very deep line into turns 3 and 4. It's being attempted. I don't quite know how realistic that would be in any circumstance, but we're starting to see it come into play, and Mosteller will try it. It doesn't quite work out, but he's given us a show here as he tries again and again to make something happen. Going deep into 3 and 4, nearly down to the wall again. Daniel Mosteller going to come right back up on Schugel, trying to maybe stop his momentum and curb him at the way out. And you see there, now River Page is in the mix. It looks like it's only going to help River Page more than it does Daniel Mosteller, and Demos is going to fade back. River Page now going to be coming out of turn 4 in the 5th spot, looking then for 4th, 46 laps in out of 125. And you'll see inside the cockpit of River Page how he's driving the 24. As for the first time all night long, he's in the frame of your top 5 drivers. Page gonna make it by Aaron Schugel, gonna make it into 4th as such, and immediately behind him, the battle brews again between Daniel Mosteller and Schugel. It looks like River Page able to swiftly make it by both. It's a 2-for-1 pass, and as such, River now firmly inside the top 5, looking for a little bit more. Demos down to the bottom groove again. Will he try to take it deep through the corner? Looks like he won't. He's gonna let River Page do the work and cut at Schugel, and then make the pass quite simply. So Mosteller's back inside the top 5, and it looks like he had no doubts about his pace, with Xander McKinney down at the bottom side all over again. The 40 looking way low. Julian Altona going to be up top again with a run. That's going to save the number 11, and Julian gets through once more. Now looking at a chance to defend upon Xander McKinney, and even Beaver Serrano. Beaver now going to be running in 15th and getting closer to the drivers just ahead. This is the final pack inside the lead lap. Will Shack, your Daytona winner, is on his own, but right now going to be 23 seconds back of your leader, and he'll be in jeopardy of going 1 lap down as things stand. Seen on his own, nobody really around him here. However, there is a battle that's brewing, and it's going to be Xander McKinney down to the inside line on Beaver Serrano. Looks like Beaver's got the spot for now, and it looks like he will take it clearly. That's going to be a pass at the end of lap number 50 for these drivers, and as such, Serrano and company going to shuffle up the order again as Chase Schaefer is set to make it to the line. Chase Schaefer so far been dominant ever since Kyle Turksack's minor issue, which is slowly but surely sent him back to the latter portion of the top 10. Currently, he's going to be running in 8th. So for the driver who was dominant in practice, qualifying, and the early stages of this race, not good news at all. So Kyle Turksack going to have to work on that as the race progresses. And 51 laps in out of 125. It's going to be Turksack's race to, of course, regain the spots, if he can at all, because most drivers who have gotten away from him have gotten clearly ahead. A few seconds up, here's another battle, Henry Kaloff, and he's going to be there with Aaron Schugel. Schugel's going to have a lot more pressure here. Looks like the JFR number 91 not able to keep up with these positions, and as this strategy game has kept on going under green, it really hasn't helped out his chances of keeping position, and he might not have a long run car, so he'll just have to keep on going despite the troubles until the night is over. Although it could be Schugel who holds on for 6th, Henry Kaloff not going to make it easy at all. You'll see that number 63 going up top again. And while he's not clear, slowly but surely inching in. Aaron Schugel going to be defending on the high side. Daniel Mosteller is going to be in 5th here, and he's going to be just about a second and a half ahead. Doesn't have to worry as Brandon Dugan goes side by side with Corey Lyles. It's the 55 and 56 running with one another. It looks like Lyles gets away, but only just, and Brandon Dugan, you have to stay right back on him. 54 laps in out of 125, and another battle brewing here. There's action all throughout the track as one man goes down and in. That is Xander McKinney, and he'll be your first driver coming in for a green flag pit stop, and it looks like scheduled stops are on their way for the first time here in Arizona. Down and in. McKinney makes it through, and the rest of the field is going to be next on the order. As you see, there's Brandon Dugan in 55 passing by with Corey Lyles. This battle persists, and the lead battle no longer won. Chase Schaefer is out ahead by about 3 seconds, and it looks like really no trouble for him to make it by and take that lead by storm. So not at all a bad night for him as the race has progressed, and I think for Chase Schaefer, he's going to have to keep on going and remain consistent. As it stands right now, he's got that overall advantage, and it's done him well, and we're watching the battle between River Page and Vincent Guecci as it begins to blossom. You'll look on board with the number 09, and you'll see his rearview mirror slowly but surely becoming packed right behind him, and River Page getting larger and larger in the frame. Now it's going to be River Page right up top in the number 24, looking high as one driver goes way low. Vinny's going to be making it in, and it is time for another green flag pit stop. Coming in early at about lap number 57, Guecci going to decide to split it in the earlier stages of this run, and he's going to make it in as such. As it stands, it's going to be Guecci up in the front of the field. He's going to drop in, going from what was a battle for 4th to 12th, and still dropping. Up ahead of the field now, you're going to see Mosteller take a spot away, and look once again, the claw back to River Page. Now, Page, Thurston, Schaefer, the podium, and it's going to continue to shuffle here as we get into second pit stop cycle for most drivers, the first under green, and for a few drivers, they've never gone to pit road on the day, one of which is going to be Corey Lyles, and as such, Corey drops in this time by. There's the number 56 making his way in, and pit road going to see multiple drivers immediately thereafter. Beaver Serrano, Devins Baker, both going to come in at once, and now as the Arizona valleys become more prominent in frame, the nighttime sky is no more, and you'll see the sun continue to rise as this race goes on. Beautiful conditions here in the virtual Phoenix Raceway, and Daniel Mosteller now looking to catch a third place if he can get it. He's side by side there. Braxton Whitaker is with River Page, and that might just a bit help out Daniel Mosteller as the number 87 Flopomobile runs side by side with the Lapper. No trouble, and Will Shack going to be dropping into pit road this time by. There goes the 31, your Daytona winner, not having the best of nights so far, already one lap down as he cycles through, and we're coming around in 2 laps time to the halfway marker with Daniel Mosteller still running behind Page. Another battle brewing. Kaloff and Schugel again. Looks like Henry Kaloff now making it back into the frame, hoping to take a spot. And with Kaloff now running in the 63 machine, of course, just behind Aaron Schugel, the question becomes whether or not he can make that time up before pit road becomes his spot. Now River Page going to go in. That cycles them all up just a spot or two. And with River dropping in, he's going to be out of the picture. Now you're going to get a better look at him as we take a look from a different camera angle. Page is going to be in. 4 tires and fuel looks to be exactly what he's looking for. Henry Kaloff going to be coming by with Aaron Schugel once again. And come by the stripe, it's going to be another lap. Halfway marker we've gotten to, and now only 63 laps remain. Chase Schaefer, the dominant driver so far, he's pulled away to a gap of nearly 5 complete seconds, and his advantage by no means short. And James Thurston now going to come in. James comes in from 3rd. Aaron Schugel comes in from 5th. He's going to take there right behind him Kyle Turkzak, and as such, big jump in for multiple drivers, and more than half of the field is coming to pit road. This time by Chase Schaefer, Daniel Mosteller, and Henry Kaloff is the new podium, and Schaefer still out in front now by a total of 6 seconds. Now Chase Schaefer going to make his way in this time by, and it's the number 99 coming into pit road, and this is a crucial stop. Now we're going to see whether or not Daniel Mosteller tries to outrun him and stay on the track longer. Maybe Henry Kaloff going to do the same. Schaefer comes in at lap number 65 at the end of a 62 lap stint. At the stripe for Mosteller, it's going to be his 63rd lap on this set of tire, and now he's going to take the lead for the first time on the day. And from there, Kaloff and Chase Schaefer still going to be scored inside the podium until now. He just made it into his pit stall. Brandon Dugan and Alexander Balderas just made it by the start-finish line. Caution is out. Yellow flag going to fly for Kyle Turkzak, and we've got trouble again. And for the first time since the first lap, we are under-pacing. It looks like Kyle Turkzak may have been the cause. Yellow flag is out once more. Here's an instant replay to show you what just caused it. And you're looking at Kyle Turkzak here in that number 15, the driver who kicked off the race up in front. Running into a bit of trouble. There's Braxton Whitaker, and then Turkzak slid down almost in response to get away from Whitaker. So two drivers going to have trouble at once, Kyle Turksack one of which, and the caution flies. Just like that, we are pacing again. Nobody else going to have damage, just two quick slides make all the difference, and we are under caution here from Phoenix. Daniel Mosteller down and in. Same goes now for Kaloff, Dugan, Balderas, and it's free pit stop for these drivers here. A few drivers still going to be one lap down, and as everyone cycles through, it's going to be the drivers who stayed out getting the advantage of that extra pit stop without having to worry about cycling through anything crazy. Now, a lot of drivers remain just barely on the lead lap or one down, so get a little bit of time now to reshuffle the order and get going once again. We like to extend a special offer from our friends at iRacing Motorsport Simulations and let you know about what's going on for the world's leading online racing sim, iRacing.com. A few days ago, iRacing introduced rain to their platform for the first time, an incredibly immersive and realistic experience with weather simulation better than ever before using the brand new Tempest climate control on the iRacing platform. Be sure to check out iRacing.com, and if you want to register today, discounts of over 40% off available for memberships of 3 months or longer. Visit iRacing.com after tonight's broadcast, and we'll return to the remainder of this event after the following message, courtesy of iRacing. You're watching the DiamondBack 125, and we'll be right back after this message.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
69 laps in out of 125, Chase Schaefer has held a nice lead for the majority of this race, and we're going to be coming back next time through with 1 lap to green. Schaefer down to the bottom side, Kyle Turksack up top, and we come back from the nighttime skies, and now it's a completely different looking circuit. Phoenix Raceway slowly but surely getting lit up once again, and now the drivers of the IORA Cup Series are ready for a completely different event in regards to the weather. It's going to continue changing, but right now your mid-race weather report, 68 Fahrenheit, northeast winds of 5 miles an hour, but definitely going to be different when it comes to track temp. We'll monitor that as the race progresses. Schaefer going to be coming through this time by and set to take the green flag. Down and in, the 99 will have the bottom side as your control car, and we'll be getting at it once again. Schaefer low, Mosteller right up high, and the green flag is going to be out before you know it. And here we go again. Green flag's out for the second restart of the day. Thurston is going to be way back. Same for Kaloff. Chase Schaefer gets a huge jump right down low. Everyone gets by nicely as we put the racing back in order. It's going to be Chase Schaefer and Daniel Mosteller who get out in front first. Julian Alton now going to be fighting side by side with James Thurston, and the field going to be repackaged up in a much different order than it was before. All the way down to the inside line, Alexander Balderas going to keep it side by side with River Page. Right up top, there he is, Brandon Dugan, 3 wide here in Phoenix, and it's going to be not a lot of room to make that work. Balderas is going to slip back and lose 2-3 spots at once, and now it's going to be Page trying to fend off the number 55 of Brandon Dugan. Both drivers are going to keep it steady, side by side at the line. Dugan in the wall, so a bit of contact there. Not going to help his case in the slightest. So now as the sun begins to rise further and further, Chase Schaefer going to have to deal with these different conditions, and he leads from Daniel Osteller in second, Henry Kaloff then in third. Although it's not a major gap right now, Schaefer still has just about 50 laps to expand this more and more in regards to that race lead. Had a high of about 6 seconds before the pit cycle came and went, so he definitely knows what it takes to get that lead and make it a much larger one. With Osteller now having track position, maybe he'll be able to give a run to Chase Schaefer's money and perhaps keep the race leading battle closer. It's the biggest opportunity he's had all night long, and we look at the driver statistics, you'll see exactly where he's been as the race has progressed. For Daniel Osteller, 3 laps led on the day. He was as low as 16th place earlier in the going, and now finds himself in the second spot. He did lead previously, but that was under yellow, so as such, Daniel Osteller now under green can have a great opportunity to find himself as the race winner if he can just hang on to Chase Schaefer and keep this fight close for the rest of the events. Of course, that's always going to be easier said than done, and it's going to be Chase Schaefer who takes them back to the stripe. It's going to be now 2 drivers beginning to break away more. Henry Kaloff runs in third, and 4th spot is going to be then James Thurston with Julian Altena up into 5th. Further back is that second pack you're starting to see it develop again. There's Aaron Schugel, there is River Page, and Brandon Dugan with Vincent Guecci then in 10th. Down to the inside line, Turksack with a similar issue. He's going to once again bobble out of turn 2, and that's going to cost him a spot again as Alexander Balderas runs side by side with them. Kyle going to be on the bottom, and Alexander Balderas holds top. Looks like Turksack now down to 12th, and not the best of nights for the driver who had that pole position kicked off the day so well. Now he's going to be facing more and more problems as Balderas wiggles Vincent Guecci. That's going to be for 10th here. Balderas down low, Guecci up top, and it's going to be Vinny who now faces another spot being lost. 2 passes there for Balderas in 2 laps, and a quick combination gets him up inside the top 10. Up in front here, Julian in the number 11, going to be rolling right behind James Thurston. You see Henry Kaloff running in third, and just about 6/10 of a second right back on your leader in Chase Schaefer. Right on board for a lap here with Henry Kaloff and see how he's working his number 63, as for the first time all night long, he's inside the podium as well. At the line there for Henry Kaloff, going to be a 27.472, so just about a half a second off of his quickest lap, and right now he's trying to emphasize that repetition. It's all a cycle here in the later stages of this race, and being 80 laps into a race you've gone so deep through, you don't want to give it up now in the final 40 sub, knowing what's on the line. Kaloff, his best career finish in the IORA Cup Series, came through an off-season series all throughout Season 4 and Season 5's break, came second in the championship standings there to James Thurston, and is determined to show he still belongs in this series, trying to go for a race win or two while he's at it. Right now, he's definitely closer than he's been all throughout Season 5 and much of Season 4 as well, serving to be one of his better runs to this point, as Kaloff is in third, Mosteller's in second, and Chase Schaefer is there leading the way. At the line, it's going to be Schaefer once again on top. He's got himself there with a 27.678 that time by. About a second off of his all-time quickest lap on the day, goes to show that tire degradation, it is substantial here, and the 99 just holding on to what he's got. Further back, you're going to see there Brandon Dugan and one man on the wall in Aaron Schugel. Most drivers are within 1 second of each other. There's even a battle for lap positions. That's going to be Will Jack and Braxton Whitaker going at it. But for the rest of the field here, they're all relatively tightened up. Everyone goes back to Devin Baker in 14th. Baker being the final driver on the lead lap right now, and he holds his own in the aforementioned 14th spot. Then there's going to be Vincent Guecci running with number 09 of Beaver Serrano right there with them. Now it's going to be contact as Guecci's going to beat and bang, and it looks like he's going to lose a spot again. Beaver makes it through, and that puts Serrano right up into the 12th position. Further on up, you're also going to see River Page now going at Julian Altina, and Julian has to hold up top. River goes way low, and that should be enough to make the pass, but Julian going to rip that top side and get enough momentum to make it close. So by no means is it going to be easy here for River Page to keep holding on. And it looks like that pass, while it does work out, wasn't the simplest of all opportunities. But Julian, right now, not a driver with all too much stock car experience. We know, as a member of the VOR IORA Team Series broadcasted Saturdays on FTN, running for Team VOR tonight, definitely one of the drivers with more of an open wheel prowess rather than having that experience in the stock cars. So with that said, 85 lap stint out of 125. It's a big learning opportunity for any driver to come over here and race with the IORA Cup Series drivers, knowing how good the top of the field always is. It's fierce competition at this level, and right now Kaloff trying to keep up as Mosteller and Chase Schaefer are slowly but surely going to become more and more connected to one another. It seems like it's going to be Mosteller slightly quicker as of recent lap over lap, but we'll see if that is going to be a consistent pattern. For now, don't quite know if it is. We're watching lap over lap times, and this should really tell us who's quicker at the stripe. It's going to be 27.784 for Daniel Mosteller, and it's a 27.742 for Chase Schaefer. So I think now Schaefer's actually going to be running away just a bit, but it's such a small gap of a few hundredths every lap. Hasn't made much of a difference to what we're seeing, but it should be good enough for Chase Schaefer to hold on to as he heads to lap number 88. Chase Schaefer holding on 4/10 of a second. Remains the gap. Maybe Mosteller now going to be holding off just a bit, knowing we're coming to the very end of this race and trying to figure out how to get the tires another 35 laps from here to the checkered flag. Looking at your overall race summary to this point, and you'll see the overall metrics that have led us to this point in the event. 5 lead changes, 8 caution laps, and only 2 cautions, and 37 laps to go as we speak. So for the drivers here, they're on a 23-lap run. They got to go 37 more laps, and with that being said, it's going to be very tricky to do so. It's going to be nearly another 60-lap stint, and every driver's got to keep that in mind here as we are getting closer and closer to the end of the show here. Lap number 90 this time by Mosteller, going to be in second, and Chase Schaefer's the leader. Further back, and there's a battle now between Vincent Guecci and Devin Baker. Baker goes up to the high side and should be able to pretty clearly make it by Guecci. Guecci's got some damage, but goes down to the dog leg again, and it looks like he's going to make it through. Quick pass there for Guecci, but he's going to get lifted into the corner and sent right up to the top of the track. He's going to keep it out of the wall, but just barely, and hold on for the spot. So it looks like despite Guecci's troubles, he's not going to let Devin Baker have it easy. Again, the number 09 holds on to 13th, despite the pressure still mounting every time by. 91 laps in out of 125 this time through. You see Kyle Turczak going to be there with Alexander Balderas, and once again making it up to Balderas after quite a time away from the number 95. Looks like these two are once again bunching up. However, it doesn't look like it's going to be easy for Turczak here. You see the right side, no damage any longer. But more than that, he seemed to be a driver who definitely benefited from the nighttime conditions, and for Turczak right now, that is absolutely not the case on the circuit. The sun is slowly but surely rising, and we're seeing more of that heat and more of that visibility come play. And right now for Kyle Turczak, he's going to be holding his own in 11th, but still a ways to go here with Aaron Schugel in 9th and Julian Altina 8th. As it stands, it's going to be these two drivers separated by a quarter of a second, but still not quite enough for a pass here as Dugan goes deep, tries to look for something, going to come up just close enough to go side by side, and the lunge might have just stuck. Julian, though, going to get a nice run here out of turn 2, gets blocked quickly by Schugel, and it looks like he's going to defy the odds and make a quarter of a second gap, a 10th of a second lead. How about that? Another pass made there by Schugel, and he's going to work his way back into 8th. Ray Lyles now fighting River Page. Page is not even going to have to take it down to the dog leg. Now they'll go through turns 1 and 2, side by side, up top for Page, down low for Lyles. And at the line, it looks like River Page will have the edge as they come around for lap number 94 of 125. Mosteller is getting closer, and it looks like slowly but surely building back up to that number 99. That time through, he was a tenth of a second quicker. And at this rate, he should be able to catch and pass Chase Schaefer by the end of lap 100. Demos making more moves and making more and more time. As you see right now, he's getting there. And the interval slowly but surely becoming less and less as the race has progressed here. You got to watch out for Demos. And it looks like his Ford Mustang now going to be within striking distance of the 99 here in Chase Schaefer. Daniel Mosteller going to be coming through 3 and 4 once again. Schaefer going to be still right there ahead of him. And now these two drivers have been so close to each other now for 5 or 6 laps, the question becomes, what is it going to take to make that pass? It's always one thing to catch the driver you're looking for, but it's a completely different animal to make that pass and make things work to get around and of course, get to the race lead, especially in this circumstance here. There's really no help. No lap machines are in sight, so it's going to be a very natural battle between these two. As they come around lap after lap, Chase Schaefer just going to have to defend, and Daniel Mosteller now going to have to look for opportunity to stay even quicker. He's getting closer lap after lap and is about the closest he's been to this point. Less than 0.2 of a second, getting down to about 0.15 of a second of the all-time low points here. And definitely Schaefer going to have his hands full as Demos looks for his first win of the season. He got his first win last season at Fontana. He's looking to get it only 1 week later in this year's running, as 2024 starting off quickly for Mosteller. Now going to be looking for that race win to put himself in the championship battle once again. Now the championship race is all up and over because we've seen 2 first-time winners coming into the night, and that was Will Shack at Daytona, Alexander Balderas, who got it done in Fontana. And as such, we are not seeing all these veterans get up there and looking for wins early. And right now, even though Henry Kaloff would be a first-time winner and he's currently running in 3rd, top 2 drivers who are the odds-on favorites to get it from this point onward, see them now. They're running with each other up in front. Veterans with multiple wins apiece. The 2-time champion in Daniel Mosteller and the IORA World Tour champion of Season 3, Chase Schaefer. First and second, nobody else in sight as they come around for lap 101. Chase Schaefer now going to be a gap about 0.4 of a second away. Daniel Mosteller gave quite a lot to get close, but it looks like he's starting to scale back yet again. Kyle Turczak has kept Alexander Balderas honest, but so far, nobody going to make a move on this number 95. Turczak going to try to send it into the corner. You can see a bit of a diamond arc, and he'll try to get that nice exit to stay with Balderas at the end of turn 2, coming into the front straightaway, making it into 3 and 4 for the start-finish line. Kyle Turczak, who led this race early, has had troubles ever since his early incident about lap 15, and ever since then, been a mid-pack driver looking to get a little bit more out of the car he just has not found. Now James Thurston's going to be coming up on the number 63 of Henry Kaloff. Thurston going to be down to the inside of Kaloff into the front straightaways, exit, and right on to 3 and 4 into turn 3, lunging deep into turn 4, goes right up high, and at the line, 103 laps complete for those two drivers, and coming up on 104 with only 22 laps to go. We'd like to thank our camera partner, TrackCams22.com, for providing the best cameras on the iRacing market, and if you'd like to join the fun with the best broadcasting cameras on iRacing, visit TrackCams22.com after tonight's broadcast, as we are set to crank it up in Phoenix with 22 laps to go. Returning now with 16 laps to go, Mosteller and Schaefer still a quarter of a second apart. As it stands, though, Chase Schaefer still has a slight advantage, and he's coming up on lap traffic, going down to the inside groove yet again. That's the number 99 looking way down low, making it by Will Shack, and once again going to take him down to the stripe with now only 15 laps remaining. Daniel Mosteller going to be there in second. He runs about 0.3 of a second behind Chase Schaefer, and James Thurston's now going to be in the mix, number 96. However, he's gotten away from both Page and Kaloff. Now looks like Henry Kaloff sent back into 5th. River Page going to be in 4th. And James Thurston, Ben and there, going to be spot number 3. The podium rounded out by the 96. 2 of your 3 champions in the IORA Cup Series history are together now, and they're going to be running inside of the top 3, chasing a driver who still doesn't have an official championship, but quite the list of accolades as an IORA driver ever since the very beginning. So for Chase Schaefer, I don't think he's going to be worried all too much now. With 13 laps to go, Mosteller, while close, has shown no real signs of going for the pass. He's just stayed very near, and of course is waiting for an opportunity, potentially a mistake, one that Chase Schaefer has yet to make. It's going to be all about that mistake avoidance from here on out. I think that's going to be the name of the game here for Daniel Mosteller, of course, running in second. Not at all a bad spot to be, with a yellow flag and a destruction for Vincent Guecci. His race is over immediately, and the yellow flag will change everything. Caution is out. Take a look at this here. Guecci going to be involved with Julian Altena and the 66 of Beaver Serrano. With 12 laps to go now, the caution will fly, and this changes everything. Going to be Serrano stacking up with Julian, and Beaver going to stay up in the wall. Guecci comes up and makes contact, and that will bring the end of Vincent Guecci's race. Yellow flag out once again, and we will be under pacing. We've waited a while, of course, with the long green flag run, and now everyone comes down at pit road one final time. This is going to be a huge deal for every driver here with 12 to go. Changes everything about strategy and might change the running order as well. We're going to be watching pit exit to find out who makes it out first, and as everyone makes it down to our pit exit here, we'll see who's got the opportunity to make the most out of the situation. Only driver that's not on pit road is the driver of the iRacing official pace car and 2 lap machines, those being Will Shack and Braxton Whitaker. Now everyone going to be coming out this time through one driver that just got in. That's going to be Kyle Turksack, and coming through for the exit, Chase Schaefer with an opportunity here, and it looks like multiple drivers coming out right there with them, and it looks like Schaefer going to beat out Schugel, then Daniel Mosteller, then James Thurston, and it's going to be River Page in 6th, Henry Kaloff 7th, Corey Lyles in 8th, and 9th is going to be Brandon Dugan with Alexander Balderas rounding out in the top 10. Now it's going to be Chase Schaefer, the winner off pit road once more, sets himself up nicely for the race win, and Beaver Serrano, the number 66, is come down to pit road this time by, led a lap, and comes in as the sun rises just beyond the horizon of the Phoenix Raceway. It's now going to be the sun setting on the winning opportunities of Beaver Serrano as he'll make it in off a strategy cycle, and Chase Schaefer is going to lead as we are set to come back green with only now 8 laps remaining. Field's getting organized once again. We'll go back green with 8 laps to go here in Phoenix. It's going to be lap number 118 when all is once again in full swing. With that being said, Schaefer, who's been the dominant man so far, might once again be in just a bit of jeopardy. We'll see whether or not that's going to be the case, of course, with Aaron Schugel now in second. It's the best spot he's been able to run in all night long, and with these new opportunities slowly but surely coming up for drivers, it's time to make the most of it here. You can see now the track going to be lit up by the sunlight in Phoenix. There's Vincent Guecci. He will be getting a lap back here, so it looks night actually not going to be over, but instead he'll get going again as he took himself a faster pair, and better to save that faster pair for the very end when you need it here. But it's still going to be a tricky night for Vinny from here on out. 2 laps down, I think it's going to be very unlikely he even gets back on the lead lap here, as with 1 lap to green, Schaefer goes down low. Aaron Schugel is going to be up top. Then from there, second row comes through. Going to be Daniel Mosteller and James Thurston. Then from there, Page and Henry Caloff. Nine to go this time by. Chase Schaefer going to be way down low, and Aaron Schugel up top. The biggest opportunity for Schugel to win. Chase Schaefer, just another opportunity to keep on defending and hold his own for the race win. It's going to be now 8 laps of green flag racing from here on out, and the number 99 is going to be your leader as we come to the stripe. Now the question is, come to the checkered flag. Maybe there's a chance to go even further for Schaefer and collect that first victory. Schugel going to try to go for his first career win after a high finish of second last week. Here we go again. Big shuffle up. Everyone wiggles. No trouble. Schaefer gets away, and the outside's going to come all apart. Green flag's out again with 8 laps remaining. Daniel Mosteller drifts out of turn 2, and they're all going to be shuffling each other over back and forth again. Down to the bottom side, Schugel going to be there with River Page. Schugel gets a bump from Page and gets wiggled right up to the top of the track. Yellow flag is out again, the reason being Julian Altona destroyed on his own, and we are under pacing. I think now we're going to have 4 laps to green when all is said and done, and we are under caution yet again. Let's look and find out just what caused it. Now, looking at Julian here with the number 66 of Beaver Serrano. Stays up there on the top side, Beaver does, so it looks like no trouble there until Julian comes slightly back up on braking and tries to set up for the turn. Doesn't work quite well, and I think Julian's race might be done. Yellow flag is out again, and for all the trouble we saw, it's a very small incident in the back that brings us back to pacing as we send it live once more. James Thurston is forward as your leader. It looks like Chase Schaefer going to be crawling at 13 miles an hour. Now these drivers are waiting once again to go through the lead. It looks like Schaefer going to lie back and stay right there with the iRacing official pace car. And Thurston is going to end up dropping back into where he was in third. But we will reorganize, and it looks like we're going to get a maximum of 4 remaining green flag laps from this point onward. That is the way it's going to set up at the best case scenario. 3 laps to go if we stay under caution for the full distance of the yellow flag that we expect. We could choose to skip a lap or 2, but I don't think that's going to happen here. Now it's going to be Chase Schaefer, James Thurston, and Daniel Mosteller. Your 1, 2, 3. Now it's Mosteller working down on the bottom side. Schaefer there as well. It's going to be the top 3 now making their choice this time through. Like Schaefer going to go down to the bottom side. I think he's going to opt to go down low and try to finish off the race defending the bottom groove, and going from there going to be very, very tricky, of course, given the way that restart was. Thurston, Schugel, Page, Mosteller all giving each other so much trouble. That being said, maybe it's going to be Schaefer who has to really worry about that restart no matter what line it is. Getting the jump will be all the difference. So it's confirmed now. 3 laps to go. That's going to be the difference, of course, from here to the checkered flag. Green flag laps, 3 at the very most from here. If not, we go into overtime, which is still possible, but not very likely. So maybe Schaefer's going to try to hold off and get to the white flag quick and get away from all the trouble. We'll see if he's able to. All comes down to the mercy of the field, and if they want to go any more to this race, make it happen. Chase Schaefer at the line, going to make that final choice, and he will drop to the bottom. He's going to take James Thurston with them. They'll go down low. Up to the top side, Daniel Mosteller going to get that track position, and he will bring right there as well Aaron Schugel up top, the 87 and the 91. Down low, the 99 and 96. Chase Schaefer has been the odds-on favorite ever since lap 15 tonight, and he's looking to lead just about 100 laps in the Monster Designs Ford Mustang. Go again, coming through turns 1 and 2. The pace car will leave, and then it'll be a half lap of action until we get back to the green flag racing. Pace car is going to let the drivers go. Now it's up to them to go through the gears in the Geico restart zone and make it back safely for one final run. 3 laps to go here in Phoenix with Schaefer down to the bottom side. Demo's going to try to pinch him there. We'll see when he gets back on the pedal. That's going to be make or break. And as they come through the Geico restart zone, Schaefer on the gas lead. Green flag's out. Everyone stacks up behind him. 3 laps remaining as the field goes all the way deep into the dogleg. Chase Schaefer now going to be coming up through the front straightaway into 3 and 4. The 99 is going to be working down to the bottom side, and as low as he gets, he still has to get away. Mosteller, River Page going to be running his 2nd and 3rd, and a battle brews now between Turksack. Schaefer, of course, going to get away, but Thurston's in the mix, and so is Aaron Schugel. Now the field going to be combined once again, 2x2, multiple rows deep. Schugel up top on Lyles, and as it's going to be Chase Schaefer coming down to the white flag this time by. He's open to see no trouble. One man spins, make it 2. White flag will not fly. We are heading into overtime because Shaq and Vincent Guecci will spin 500 feet away. Welcome to overtime. And we saw him spin, wondered if it was going to be a call for overtime. We got it. And now, it looks like we are going to be waiting once again. Guecci going to be there, and it looks like he will spin out among one other in Will Shack. They make contact with Braxton Whitaker and end up destroyed. Caution's out, and we are going to have a little more time to determine this one. So buckle up. We're coming into what really could be our final restart here, but there's no telling. Now we're in the overtime procedure. 3 restarts. Green, white, checkers they are, and now we're going to head beyond lap 125. Chase Schaefer up in the front of the field. He is going to be your leading driver as all is going to get settled in once again. And for every overtime attempt we have, the race will go further and further past the lap 125 scheduled distance. That being said, if we get to the white flag at any instance, the race will be official and there will be no more distance extensions no matter what happens. So if we get to the white flag, the race will end on that lap no matter what. However, if this is to go for the white flag and we get a caution, we'll be up to 2 more extensions from here. This is extension number 1. So we have 2 more overtime attempts waiting. This is the first, and if we get to the white flag under any circumstance, the race will end on the lap we're at. Schaefer with the advantage. Then from there, Daniel Mosteller 2nd, River Page 3rd, and Kyle Turksack up into 4th. Turksack has made quite the charge in the past few laps and maybe has an opportunity to fight for a podium with all being said and done. He's had an up and down night, largely running outside of the top 10 in the early portions of this race, but now he is here within the confines of the top 5 and maybe has enough to go for a podium. Admins are not going to shorten this caution. The lights are still out. So now we're going to get the choose rule again. Schaefer goes down to the bottom side. It looks like it's going to be no longer for Schaefer as he comes back up. So Chase Schaefer up top, Demos down low. And it's a difference with 2 laps to go that might make all the difference, ironically. High side for the first time. Chase Schaefer will choose it, and Demos gets the bottom. Is this the right choice, or will we see trouble ensue once again? Now time to find out. Pace car is down and in, and we have 1 more turn to get things going all over again. Coming through this time by Chase Schaefer, going to be up top with a huge wiggle. Schaefer sent up high, and Daniel Mosteller takes the lead. 2 laps to go. Page sends Schaefer up top, and now Demos with a chance to win will get out in front, and the inside line makes all the difference. Bottom groove preferred for the 87 for the first time all race long, and now he's got the advantage with 1 lap to go. This time by Mosteller going to be down to the bottom with James Thurston chasing. racing. White flag is out. This race will be official. Battle for the podium getting fierce as well with Devins Baker, River Page, Chase Schaefer and such. Baker going to make a move in the fourth, and they're wrecking behind. Balderas and company go around with some trouble, and now Daniel Mosteller only has 2 turns more to defend. A driver who's only led 3 laps on the day prior to this got through on the restart and making it a turn 4 this time by with Thurston sending deep. No choice but to bow down. The 2-time champ is back. Daniel Mosteller will win in Phoenix. Demos gets it done. James Thurston second, and third, River Page. Then from there, Chase Schaefer and Devins Baker round out the top 5. And Demos only had to wait a week longer this season than the last. He still found his way to victory lane in the most unforeseen circumstances. The one time Schaefer goes up top, he decides, of course, to make that difference. And the change didn't seem to work. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And it's more of a statement of how Chase Schaefer lost it there than how Daniel Mosteller won it. But for Demos, he ran one hell of a race, keeping himself in second, letting the opportunities come to him. As such, there's the 87, the Flopomobile, in victory lane for the first time all year long. And with Mosteller continuing his celebration here, the only driver left on the track. And I'll tell you this much, what a way to get this win. He's going to back it up. Looks like making it a pit road in reverse. Let's take a look here at your overall race results for tonight's event. Daniel Mosteller, your race winner, as he's now slowly but surely making his way into pit road. It's Mosteller at the top of the charts with James Thurston second, River Page third, and Chase Schaefer then in fourth. It's going to be Devins Baker fifth and Kyle Turkzak in sixth, with Corey Lyles then seventh. 8th place is going to be Henry Kaloff, and 9th, Aaron Schugel. To round out the top 10, it's going to be Brandon Dugan, and he finishes just within 2 seconds of your race winner. Top 10, very close, with 11th then being Will Shack. 12th place going to be Braxton Whitaker, and Nathan Palawada, 13th. Alexander Balderas, 1 lap down after the last lap trouble, and Vincent Guecci's 15th. Julian Altena, 16th. Eva Serrano, then in 17th. Antonio Mancini, 18th, and Xander McKinney, 19th. But Tyler Tinsley, the only driver to not make it past the halfway marker, save for McKinney, he comes home 79 laps down, 20th. Just like that, a night of action comes to a close. And for Daniel Mosteller, I don't think anyone had him as the overall favorite on that final restart, but it looks like he made all the right moves, went with the flow, and that was the difference. What a way to win for Daniel Mosteller, and we're going to bring in your race winner right now. The 87 team, they waited a week longer than last season to come to victory lane, but for the first time in Season 5, Demos, you got through the chaos on the restart, and you are a winner again, this time at the Phoenix Raceway. What's it like after the calamity in the final restart there, getting the checkered flag?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised Chase gave me the bottom there. It was real dominant the whole time. And it looks like River tried to give him a push to time it, and that just spun the tires, and me and Thurston got clear there at the end, and it was still 1v1 in the desert. And luckily I was able to pull away there on that last lap, and I was able to survive the last lunge there.
And surviving that last lunge is such a huge deal, of course. You started on the bottom side for the first time as the control car there all race long. Now, the majority of this race was all green flag runs until the final 10 laps. So with that change in mind, what was it like adjusting, knowing the circumstances were such a big deal to get that victory?
Yeah, Chase was the class of the field. He was easily the fastest car, and on that last long green flag run that we had, it looked like it was going to be between me and him. I was kind of chasing him down, making up some time, losing some time. he was making a mistake here and there. Wish we got to go green there at the end because it was gonna be a fun battle between us two. And yeah, but we got the string of late race yellows. I almost threw it away on the natural green white checker there. I got really loose out of turn 2, but I got bailed out by a yellow and was able to kind of regroup and you know, got some track position back and was able to get the win.
Track position so key in tonight's event, and when I tell you this much, we saw your overall race statistics, ups and downs all throughout, and you're one of the drivers who really experienced every portion of the race. When it all came through, you were as low as 16th, started third tonight, and only 5 laps led, so you were quite the traveler tonight. Was there any particular, shall we say, part of the race that really got you up there as opposed to staying in the back?
I don't think I really lacked pace at all. I had an EOL from a penalty from last week, so that's why I was back there. But I guess that saved me from the lap 1 carnage. I only got away with some, minor damage there, which I had the whole race. I don't really know how much it was holding me back there, but yeah, it was a adventurous race for me. But I'm glad to have ended it on top.
Best place to end the night, Daniel Mosteller getting it done with the victory lane. Phoenix Raceway, now track you won it here in the IORA Cup Series. And, of course, next week on the schedule, we're going to keep some familiarity going. And we've gone what portion of tracks I'm sure you know well. Up next on the schedule, we're going to take a quick look right now and see exactly where you're going to take the 87. It's going to be Kansas, a very similar opening to last season, and Kansas once again going to return. You think there's a chance to maybe go for a second consecutive win and put yourself in the points fight?
It better not be like last season where I don't think I broke the top 20, but we'll see. You can only go up from the past, so we'll try my best. I don't know the points right now, but I feel pretty good about it.
Looking to continue the uphill climb, it's Daniel Mosteller collecting the victory here in Phoenix. Anyone else you'd like to shout out after tonight's event?
Thank you for broadcasting, everyone for racing, Mason for off-tracking. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Just like that, ending a fun night at the top of the board. Daniel Mosteller, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
With Demos on the move, the 87 collects his first victory with the Xfinity Ford Mustang. The Flopomobile gets it done, and it's James Thurston then in second. Let's get a word from your second place driver momentarily. Daniel Mosteller collecting the victory, and top 3 coming through. Up next could be that number 96, and James Thurston with us right now. Started in 19th, made your way up to second. It was a hard-charging night for the number 96 crew, and you have a runner-up finish to show for it. How about tonight's event here in Phoenix? Thurston, you're on the podium.
Yeah, we worked the whole race just to get up to second, and we eventually got here after a lot of fighting. I didn't set a good lap in qualifying. And then we worked our way through the field, burned the tires up, didn't get a caution. And yeah, we got some cautions there at the end that helped us out. We should have had a better shot at the win than we did. But eventually Chase just made a mistake on that final restart, started in first gear. And River pushed him and he started chipping out. And yeah, me and Mose just pulled away. I made sure not to do anything dirty in the final corner. It was a good race between me and Mose there. And yeah, just playing games in the restart box, it usually doesn't work out after like 4 restarts.
Restarts became such an important factor there. We saw the huge difference with Chase Schaefer's restart, but for you in particular, just seemed like smooth sailing, continuing what you had. For the 96 crew, was there anything about those short runs that was anything different in the final, or you just kept going?
I wasn't very good at them. That's where I was losing. I would be fine on a long run. I'd be like even with the leaders, but a short run, I couldn't do anything. But yeah, we eventually got there on that final restart and capitalized as best we could. So just glad for that, and thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports for the fast race car. And on to next week at Kansas, where I hopefully will figure out the line a little bit quicker than I did here.
And you mentioned Kansas, a race you won last season. You had success, but that was the next gen. A huge difference in the package, so maybe an opportunity to go for 2 for 2, but I'm certain there's much different challenges from package to package, which are going to be a huge factor.
Yeah, the Xfinity car, it's more tire saving based, more really talent based. The next gen, it takes talent, but it's kind of just run hard and see what you need to fix for the next run. It's never really the same thing every single run. And yeah, the Xfinity car, it should be a little bit more cemented in how you're supposed to run it and what works on long runs. And you're gonna hopefully see some more side-by-side action than we saw at Phoenix. Phoenix is just not really a great track for that.
Well, going back to the intermediates to keep the early season stretch going, James Thurston, your best finish so far in the campaign. It's a second place run. If you got anyone else to shout out, make sure you let us know.
Nope, just the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports group, fast race cars, and gonna have another fast race car next week.
Gonna keep the speed up. James Thurston, second on the day. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
James Thurston going to be on the move right now with one more driver inside the top three, River Page, who got by Chase Schaefer's trouble and made it through for that top three finish. Final man on the podium and making it into third. Page, first podium of your season so far, making it out of the last green-white checkered chaos, and as such, you come through with the top three. Looks like you were able to avoid the nonsense at the very end, but still very hectic at it. Very close calls, and just like that, third place finish. What's it like here from Phoenix?
Well, I kind of screwed over Chase, so I feel bad about that. But I don't think I've ever done a Phoenix race in this league where we haven't ended in like 5 overtime. So I knew that was probably gonna happen. I had fun in the beginning of the race. I had damage and I was doing good. But I wasn't gonna make it on fuel, so I got lucky with the caution. And then I knew I could have battled up there. I probably could have battled for the win, and then Chase told me he was going to go early, so I kind of just jumped it. I didn't think I would pull his rear off the ground, though, but whatever. I'm happy with third. I think I'm the points leader now, so that's the important thing.
Of course, the points lead is going to be a big deal as we get into the early goings of the championship battle. Kansas is up next, so a few familiar races, but tonight in Phoenix, we went here last season, and you mentioned it, very similar ending with the yellow flags in a row. So were you prepared for that the whole race, or you just let it come to you?
Yeah, it went exactly how I thought it would, because it's been the same way the last two. So I don't know. I thought I did good. I didn't really prepare for the long run, but I was up there. Chase was definitely the car to beat. He was gonna run away with it if I didn't give him a little bump at the end. But yeah, it was fun. I like this track. I wish I could have been cleaner at the end.
Always another opportunity coming up next at Kansas. So with that being said, do you think there's a chance to keep the podiums alive at the intermediate circuit?
Well, I think last time you did a Kansas Xfinity race on FTN, I won, unless something else has come up since then. So, I think that'll go good, and hopefully, if the track stayed as it was in that race, I have like an edge on the competition, I guess. I was doing pretty good last time I was there, so I'm definitely confident, but I'm not the biggest fan of Kansas, so we'll just see how it goes.
Wait and see as we head back to Kansas next week. River Page to round out the top three. Anyone else you'd like to shout out?
Just Haggard Electrical, FTN, and Brandon Dugan for using my paid scheme, and everyone that's in the VC with us when we race. It's always entertaining if the race isn't fun, at least.
There you have it. River Page rounding out the top three. We thank you for your time.
Thank you, David.
Page on the way. It's the 24 who finishes in third, and we'll conclude our podium ceremony for tonight. Once again, going to be River Page who comes home in that third spot, and then from there, second is going to be James Thurston, and your race winner, Daniel Mosteller, gets it done after restart mayhem here in Phoenix. With that being said, our next broadcast is coming up momentarily, and you're watching FTN of coverage of the DiamondBack 125 from the virtual Phoenix Raceway. We'll be back in about a half hour's time with the Holden Wieners 125. They're going to be heading to Richmond in the Highline Racing League, and we're preparing for our next event very, very soon. Stick around, because at 9:30 Eastern, you'll be automatically redirected to our next broadcast as the Highline Racing League takes on Richmond for the second race of the night. I've been David Kreutz, your commentator and producer for tonight's race. If you enjoyed the action, make sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated. You've been watching the virtual Phoenix Raceway for coverage of the DiamondBack 125, and this is the IORA Cup Series Season 5, Race 3. We'll be back next Thursday with more IORA action, and we hope to see you whenever we're live again on FTN. Thank you for your support, and we hope you have a great night.